Good morning, it's 11:02, and we're here for the ADW subcommittee meeting. We have a few things in the agenda. First is approving the meeting agenda, which includes three items under new business, industry update, ADW handle trends for 2023 and 2024, and ADW and affiliate overviews. We got motion to approve the agenda.
I so move.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So approved. This should be the Micah Lloyd show for a little bit here because he will be presenting on all three items. And Micah, I don't know if you want to go one by one or if you just want to.
I'm just gonna
give
follow
us-
through if that's okay.
Let's just chat and talk.
I believe I'd like to start with some of the industry updates, but I will leave some room at the end of this discussion and we'll open it up to the floor. For anyone who wants to bring in some considerations that we may not be presenting here. As many of you know, we had some challenges earlier with the Greyhound considerations and whether or not that is going to be permitted. That did not make it out of legislation this year. It's not an issue. We're working with the regulators, legislative bodies on how to address this going forward. It's premature to go into any details at this point. There is some, I'm sorry, first of all, sanity check. Can everyone still hear me? Thumbs up. Thank you. I'm making sure the technology works out fine. Cameras over here. Other aspects that I want to make sure everyone is aware of, we're seeing a lot of requests on sportsbook integrations. And there's a high trend towards that, specifically around shared wallet considerations. It is an area that I'm working with several teams. Most of you are aware of that. My goal is to make sure the auditing requirements are met as defined within our rules. I would like to move into some of the ADW handle trends, and I'm comparing initially the handle for 2023 versus 2022. This data has been confirmed and is published on our government website. That's oregon.gov/racing. Basically, the handle was about 104% 2023 over 2022. It was affected due to closures of two licensees through the Oregon Racing Commission. One of them was US Off Track. And another was a refocus after Premier Turf Club was acquired by Fanatics. Subsequently, they closed earlier this year. If I remove those two licensees and compare how 2023 did to 2022, we're looking at about 113% increase year to year. Fairly impressive. If I'm comparing like quarters, this is the January through March data for 2024 versus 2023. Now this data has not been published yet and won't be for another week or two, pending our public companies publishing their quarterly reports. We're expecting to see a report that we're just shy of $1.5 billion handle for the first quarter of this year. Comparing that, only the current licensees, that's about 102% year on year. Generally, most of the licensees are showing slight increases. Some are showing exceptional growth. A couple are still finding their footing. General overview, we have 7 primary licenses through the Oregon Racing Commission and 15 affiliate sites attached to those 7. Just a quick rundown. AmWager, TwinSpires, eBet Technologies, Gameplay Network, Naira Bets, ODS, FanDuel/TVG, and ExpressBet. I won't list the affiliates. That information is available on our website, which I noted earlier. There are no licenses who are up for renewal this year. As you are aware, our licenses have multi-year capabilities, and this is a year that manages not to see up for renewal. I believe the next one will be in 2026. I believe it's most of them. That will be a very busy year. Quarterly updates have been sent out to all the licensees. This is a process I do just to make sure that they are aware of where they stand with our requirements, including business licenses, source market fee agreements, things of that nature. The only upcoming pending item is for a source market mitigation plan, which all licensees are required to perform annually. Those expire early every year at the end of our fiscal year, June 30th. All licensee audits are on schedule, and I wanted to give a quick overview of the auditing plan that I'm doing regularly. These multiple categories quickly here: the policies and procedures, including governance, risk management, anti-money laundering, and other financial considerations. Operational, which includes in-depth review of customer interactions, the signups, know your customer components. Training with an emphasis on responsible gaming. This was a note that this committee brought last year as a focus request. Everyone jumped on board with this as well. Other areas include the IT and technical overviews and legal. And I also want to make a note that in terms of tax status and payments, all payments are currently up to speed. There are no areas of concern to report on any of the ADWs. And that is generally no review of them as well. The upcoming area, it's been suggested that we have an all-day ADW meeting in the fall where all licensees can discuss, review the regulations, and comment on what works and what areas need improvement. This is just a recent suggestion. This would not be ORC mandated. This was brought to us, and if there's something that collectively you guys would like to see, we would help facilitate that. I'm catching most of you off guard on that. If you wouldn't mind sending me a note at the conclusion of this meeting, sometime today, tomorrow, expressing your desires for or against it, we will help move that forward if that's what everyone deems desired. And that concludes my report to the committee.
Thank you, Micah. That's a lot of information, and I hope that you have something in so that I can review it all, but I took some notes. I have some questions for you on 2 or 3 of the things that you mentioned. You mentioned sportsbook integration. Do we know where Oregon Lottery stands on that situation and how we can facilitate channels of communication or some sort of collaboration?
That's a fantastic note. As you know, Oregon Lottery has the single source sportsbook for the state of Oregon. And we have had communications with them in the past and continue to do so going forward. In fact, it's on our list of things to do, especially considering the licensee that they use is also one of our licensees. And it's racing, right? So there is crossover. Okay.
Good. And then you mentioned at one point that for the most part, ADWs have been doing very well. That there are some that are still finding their footing. Have you identified any specific issue or matter of concern that has kept them perhaps still in that position? And if we can have any input from those ADWs?
That's a great question. The one licensee who had the most significant issues, we were very much in constant communication, only for them to say, well, we're going to close our license. Okay. That said, and let me explain why. That was the one that they recently acquired by Fanatics. Okay. And Fanatics expressed to me that they had a desire to go in a different direction and wanted to review the technology and basically start over and come back to us at some point in the future. That aside, the others, I think, communications I've had with them, it's just a matter of priority at a business level, and that's not something we dictate, but certainly we are here to help them with the hurdles that they have, and we do express that and have constant communication with them as well. There's no technical challenges or I guess business considerations that are of concern. It's just their focus is not quite defined. A growth focus.
Right. Okay. Those are all the questions that I had. Any comments from, well, now that you've given the report, I believe the other item in the agenda is public comment, so the floor is yours. To bring any concern to the ADW committee that you would like the Oregon Racing Commission to assess and, consider. Anything? All right, we're doing a great job. If I may say so myself.
I mean, I'll echo that, sure.
All right. Fantastic.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else and not seeing anything else in the agenda, I will consider a motion to adjourn. One second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you for taking some of your time and joining. We need to touch base more often, so let's see if we can meet sometime in the fall.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.